Hello everyone, this is James from Living Gardens Homestead. Got a problem going on here. These are my girls. But I figured I'd get back in touch with you here. I know it's been a few days since I put a video out. We've been really busy here trying to keep grass cut, trying to get stuff canned from the garden and dried, and just been busy. But I was watching the news earlier, and I seen on there where the banks were having some, I guess you'd say, trouble. I haven't seen it yet. It's supposed to come on tonight, I think at 11:30. But I recorded a clip of it, and I'll run this clip. It's just a short clip. But you know, during the Great Depression, our banks had problems then too. And I don't know how many of you are having a hard time right now. I'm sure a lot of you are. If you are, you know, tell me down in the comments if you work for a bank or anything, and you're watching this video. Put down in the comments what's going on with these banks. It seems like the banks are doing everything they can to try to keep from going under, I guess. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but you know, it just seems like we're repeating history. And it seems like today in school and stuff, they don't want to teach history. And we need to know about history. That way we'll know not to repeat it. But the majority of us knows there was a Great Depression. The majority of us knows there was a war during that time. The majority of us knows that there was a drought out west, and a lot of our fertile land got blowed away. But you know, I'll play that clip from the news on here. I'll try to put it in here someplace. If I can't get it in it, I'll put it at the end of the video. But I heard, now I don't know the facts of this, but I heard that our banks, our FDA, you know, the not FDA, the FDIC improves the, let me get my mind right here. They insure, what is it, up to $250,000 of your money that's in the bank, which would be nice if they did. But I've heard that if the banks all had to shut down and give everybody their money back, they've only got enough money in the banks and in the system to give us like 1 to 2% of what all money's in there. That tells me they ain't gonna be able to pay people back for the money they got it in the bank. I don't trust our government no more. I don't trust the banks no more. I don't trust any of these institutions. It just seems like everything has just plumb messed up. And politics seems to be a big part of it. It seems like everything's got to do with politics today. And, you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when America was founded and the founding fathers, when they put everything together, like the Constitution and everything, the reason the government, I believe, was put in, if I'm not mistaken, if my history that I can remember from school, and that was a long time ago, if I can remember my history from school, I think our government was created for pretty much one thing, and that was so that we could fund the government enough money to fund a military to keep us safe. Now put in the comments what you think. I mean, that's what I remember, and I could be wrong, but I think that's the reason our government, federal government, was created, was to serve the people. Not the people to serve the government, not the government to tell us what we can do and can't do, like all this stuff they're doing today. I don't think the government was created for that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our government was created solely for a military to protect our country and to protect the citizens. And it seems like those people in the federal government have went further than what they're supposed to or what they was created for. And I don't know, I thought that I was taught that it was up to each state to make up their own rules, so to say. In other words, some of them banned alcohol, and some of them you was allowed alcohol, and that was because of the government of that state passed those laws, not the government of the country. And you know, that sounds pretty good having it that way, because if this state, she's got a cough, but if one state said you was only allowed trailers, and another state said you was allowed to build a home, you know, you had a choice. You could either move to that state, live in a trailer, or you could move to that state, live in a home. I'm making that up, okay? Just so you see the differences when the states have control of everything. In other words, you could live in a state that satisfies your needs. Now, when a government takes over and they apply it to the whole country, then you've got no place to go to escape what they're putting there. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But anyway, I thought our U.S. government was simply for the military, for us to be protected. And Lord, it's a lot bigger than that now. So, you know, either I'm wrong or they've overstepped their bounds and they've took too much power away from the people in the states. But anyway, the inflation, the bank crisis, that's one thing. I know you've been hearing about it, but it surprised me that I had this little clip that I'm going to show you in the middle of my newscast at 6 o'clock that I'm watching the local news, and they was talking about the banks. But anyway, I'm going to play that for you because I'm not a good talker, but I try to let you know what I know is going on. And anyway, my wife was looking at on Facebook, and somebody got an electric bill, and their electric bill was, I think, around $5,000, and they've been making payments on it and everything, and trying to and they cut their electric off. I mean, it's sad. We're getting to the point in this country that it's going to get so expensive for electricity that we ain't going to be able to afford it. I mean, even our bills is way higher. The inflation, it's not what they're saying it is. If it was only 3%, or if it was only 10%, I'd be a lot happier than I am now. But our electric bill, I know just ours, it's doubled and tripled what it used to be. And I look at the bill, and we're not using double, we're not using triple, we're using the same amount, but the price of it is double and triple. And you know, now I have some solar panels. I need to get some batteries. I was wanting to go with the lithium-ion batteries, but anyway, I thought I'd bring this to you and see if any of you are feeling any of this pain that a lot of us are feeling. And you know, if you don't care, let us know if you work for a bank what the banks seem to be going through right now. I think they're in trouble. And if they are, we're liable to face another crisis like we did in the early 30s and 29. And coupled with the war going on now, and maybe us getting involved with it, coupled with the high price of inflation, the Fed raising interest rates, that's going to cause a lot of businesses to slow down and go out of business. That's going to cause a lot of job losses. That's going to cause unemployment to rise. And if I'm not mistaken, I think during the Depression, the Great Depression, it's something like 25% unemployment. That means for every 4 people you look at, 1 of them didn't have a job. So, you know, we could be getting to that again. And people, the reason I put my videos up and stuff is I try to show you things. I ain't saying I know a lot about anything, but the things I do know about, I'd like to let other people know about. There's some people out there, and this is no lie, and I'm not making this up. I'm not a Joe Biden. I'm not making it up. And but I worked at a place where we built office walls and clean rooms and stuff like that. And something as simple as using a hammer to drive a nail, you wouldn't believe it. And I thought people were lying to me just so they didn't have to do the job. But there was people there that didn't know how to use a hammer. There was also people there, we had to drill little holes in here to where we could put screws in. There was people that didn't know how to use a drill. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just saying they didn't know. And the only way they will know is if somebody like me or you or whoever teaches them. And that's the reason why I try to teach on the gardening and stuff. And if you haven't started gardening yet, please start. I mean, it gets expensive when you go to buying things to make your job easier. But if you do a little over the years, like we have, I mean, it's took us years to build up everything we've got. And, you know, we just had dinner. Everything for dinner came off this farm, except for one thing. The flour that she made biscuits with. Jim made biscuits to go with it. That was the only thing that didn't come off the farm. We had potatoes, we had ham and corn, tomatoes, and biscuits. I mean, it was a good dinner. Best tasting dinner. You can't buy a dinner like that out of the store. But people, please, I mean, if you got questions or anything, just leave them down in the comments, and I'll try my best to get back to you and answer your questions. And it sounds like my other girls are getting a little acted up over there. And by the way, as hot as it's been, we're still getting over a dozen eggs a day. But anyway, I'll try to put this clip in this video or at the end of the video. You may have to go to the end of the video to watch that clip. But people, it's happening. It's happening. And you need to wake up. And I see there's a lot of people who have been waking up. But start raising your garden. Start putting food back. You know, if you can't get a garden, go to the store and buy you up some food. You know, you've saved money by this time next year probably, because the prices just keep raising on that food. So anyway, I hope you all have had a good day. And anyway, this is James. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we please ask you to please subscribe and give us a thumbs up on the video. Let's try to drive the video out and get us more watches on it. But anyway, I don't know what to say. That just the inflation and everything's just getting so bad, and people are hurting really bad, and I don't see it changing soon. So the only way you can fight this stuff is try to raise your garden. I know some of you don't have the room for a garden, but you know, I've got videos on there of hydroponics. You can raise some stuff in hydroponics, and if you like lettuce and salads, that stuff will grow fast. Within probably 30 days in hydroponics, you can have lettuce and stuff to eat, and you don't have to go to the store and buy it. Or if there's a shortage out there, you'll have your own. But anyway, this is James, and I guess that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.
Coming up this week on Full Measure, America's bank regulators are working nonstop behind the scenes to avert a broad financial fiasco after a series of U.S. bank failures and more financial institutions said to be on the brink. We speak with specialists on both sides of the political spectrum to ask what's to blame and what might lie ahead for all of us. And we'll examine America's long experience with bank fiascos stretching back to the 1930s.